It's Thanksgiving, and I have a cranberry sauce recipe that's so good it'll get your family to stop talking about politics for maybe 5 seconds. I love this cranberry sauce recipe because instead of going on the side, it actually tops your turkey. And it's great because if your turkey comes out a little dry, which let's be honest, we've all had those years, you can just slap this bitch on top and it's perfect. Our main ingredient is our cranberries. Despite what Food Network might tell you, you cannot use dried cranberries. You have to use fresh cranberries for this recipe. We need the inside juices to incorporate with the sauce and make a nice thick sauce, and dried cranberries just aren't going to cut it. The other key ingredient we have today is our balsamic vinegar. Balsamic is delicious when it's reduced. It actually loses its vinegariness and becomes nice and sweet and tangy, which will go perfect with our cranberries. Lastly, we have our rosemary and our onion. These are our aromatics that we're going to add to the sauce. It just rounds out the sauce as a whole and makes everything delicious when it's combined. To a saucepan, we're going to start by adding a cup of cranberries, a very generous cup of cranberries. We're going to add 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar. To this, we're going to add 1/4 cup of brown sugar. We're going to add a few sprigs of rosemary. Rosemary is very powerful, so make sure you do it to taste. I personally like a lot of rosemary, so I did about 3 to 4 sprigs. You want to finely chop this, especially when you're cooking rosemary in a sauce. It's not very delightful to take a bite of a huge leaf of rosemary. It's very potent and powerful, so we're just going to make sure we get a nice fine chop on this. We're going to add our fresh chopped rosemary to our pot as well. I highly recommend using fresh rosemary, but if you're in a pinch and you just have dried rosemary, that's fine too. Just make sure to crush it between your fingers so the natural oils of your hands will start releasing the natural oils of the rosemary. The last ingredient we're going to add to our sauce is some pre-caramelized onions. This is about half of a yellow onion that I have chopped into large pieces because I personally like large pieces of onion. I think it adds a nice bite. Do not be fooled when you're caramelizing your onions. It takes time. This will take about 30 to 45 minutes. You want to put your onions in a pan with some butter and some salt on low, and you wait. You stir it occasionally. You want to give it time for the natural sugars in the onion to break down and caramelize, and that's going to give you the sweet and delicious onion. It pairs really well with this cranberry sauce. We're not going to add it yet. We're going to wait until the cranberry sauce is about halfway cooked so our onions don't overcook. We want to make sure they maintain their shape and their form. We're going to put this on medium heat on our burner, and we're going to start cooking it for about 20 minutes. Once our sauce is on the stove, we're going to add 1/4 cup of water. That's just to make sure that things don't get too thick. You can always add more water as it's cooking if it's too thick to your personal tastes. Just make sure to watch the consistency throughout the cooking process to make sure that your sauce is to your desired liking. What we're looking for when we're cooking cranberries specifically is it'll take a little time, but the cranberries are going to burst. It's actually quite fun. You'll hear little popping noises in the pot. It's like a little party. As it cooks over time, the balsamic vinegar will get less vinegary. It'll get a lot more sweet. Just stir occasionally to make sure the heat is evenly distributed. Especially when you start to hear your cranberries popping, you want to make sure to give it a good stir. Make sure that the ones that have opened up are incorporating well into the sauce. At this stage, you want to bring it to just below a boil. You want to make sure the cranberries are simmering, and that's when you're going to start to hear the little pops. Let's see if we can start hearing them now. It has been simmering for approximately 10 minutes now, and you can see that our sauce has thickened up beautifully. Most of the cranberries have exploded and have started incorporating into the sauce. The vinegar smell at this point is starting to dissipate. So during this reduction process, the vinegar will become super sweet and delicious. It is at this point that we're going to add our caramelized onions so they can warm up and start incorporating into the sauce as well. At this point, if some of your cranberries haven't exploded yet, you can add a little more liquid and continue simmering. You definitely want to make sure all of the cranberries have opened up and are incorporated into the sauce, because if you bite into a full cranberry, it's going to be very sour and it's not going to be very pleasant. It's very important during the cooking process to always taste at every stage and make sure everything is tasting as you like it. At this point, it's still a little vinegary for my taste, so I'm going to continue reducing the sauce and letting the cranberries cook. You'll see with my sauce here, and maybe you're also having this issue, that some of your cranberries just aren't popping. That's totally okay. What I'm going to do is just add a little more water to cover the cranberries, and then I'm going to put a lid on top to make sure that the heat is more evenly distributed within the pot. And after 20 minutes of cooking, if those cranberries just don't pop, that's fine, we can just take them out. We're getting there. Needs to cook a little longer. Our sauce has thickened. It's now delicious. It's got a deep red color. All of our cranberries have popped, which means it's done, and everything is nice, well, and incorporated. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this off the heat, let it cool for about 2 minutes, and then you're ready to serve it on top of some turkey. Now that our sauce is beautifully reduced and done, we're going to go ahead and pour it into our serving bowl. Before I put my sauce on my turkey, I just want to go ahead and give it a try. It's sweet, it's tart, it's savory, it's got a really nice aromatic to it. That's going to be delicious on some Thanksgiving turkey. I'm going to try to put this as restaurant style across our turkey. I don't know about you guys, but I'm very excited to try this. Oh, the sweet cranberry sauce just pairs so well with the salty, meaty turkey. Highly recommend this recipe for this year. This sauce goes really good with turkey and chicken, so if you keep any cranberries frozen in your freezer for all year round, I highly recommend remaking this sauce. Hope you guys liked it, and happy Thanksgiving.